Hey guys, HMK here once again with some interesting news and updates about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild's launch and release. Now, we all know about the debacle last year, 2016, that there were rumors coming out of the woodwork about Breath of the Wild not making it for a March release, a Switch launch release, and that, a lot of people were getting angry, and a lot of people were like, this needs to launch on Switch, it needs to have the biggest launch lineup ever, and that this game might make it to a summer release. And the biggest reason for that is because of localization and debugging issues. That the game itself was already finished, but they had to make sure that everywhere that this game is releasing, the localization process had to go through without a hitch and make sure that the game is smooth, no bugs detected and whatnot. And each Nintendo subsidiary had to do that. Nintendo of Japan, Nintendo of Europe, Nintendo of America, and so on and so forth. Now, it's interesting because Eurogamer came out with this article stating the reason why there was a bunch of clashing sources saying that, it is going to release at launch, it's not going to release in launch. Apparently, those situations and those sources came out from different Nintendo eras. One from Nintendo of America, one from Nintendo of Japan, and one from Nintendo of Europe. And Nintendo of Europe is the big kicker where they want to have this game released in summer because they wanted more time in order to debug, in order to localize the game for that region. But Nintendo of Japan wanted this game to be done and have it launch on Switch's launch time. So for North America and Japan, they wanted it to be available at launch, but Nintendo of Europe is still unknown. And I can understand why Nintendo of Europe is kind of scrambling to get this thing localized and that they need more time because they have to localize this game in a lot of languages. Nintendo of Europe is not just English, everyone thinks Nintendo of UK. No, Nintendo of Europe is English, French, Italian, Spanish, so on and so forth. They have to localize it in all of those languages. For North America, for the most part, is English and Spanish, right? Maybe even French for Canada. And Japan, of course, Nintendo of Japan is just, their native language, Japan. The game's being built in Japan, so, they're good with that. But Nintendo of Europe definitely has a bigger undertaking when it comes to localizing the game, and that's why sometimes games take a little bit longer to release in Europe because they have to localize it in all of those languages. So, apparently, Nintendo of America is pretty neutral at this point. Nintendo of Japan is the one who really wants to pull the strings and wants this game to come out during the launch period of the Switch and come out on the Switch's launch in March. However, Nintendo of Europe really wants a little bit more time in order to localize this game completely for all of their regions. So that's why Nintendo of Europe, the rumor and the speculation that was saying that this game is not going to make a launch release window, is probably going to come out in summer, came from Nintendo of Europe, while all of those sources saying that it is going to make a March release is coming from Nintendo of Japan. So there's definitely a bit of dissension there, and I know when I break out this news and when Eurogamer is, saying all this stuff, it's going to make a lot of European fans a bit worried and a bit concerned and maybe even angry. And I totally understand that because that kind of sucks. Because at this point, it seems that Japan is dead set on having this game released in North America and Japan on time for the Switch's launch, but the fate for this game in Europe is still unclear, and there may be the sour possibility that Nintendo of Europe and the entire European region might get this game later than North America and Japan, and that is gonna suck. I already know there's gonna be torches and pitchforks if that decides to happen, but we're finally gonna find out when this game truly releases worldwide and in other regions come in a week, because it's going to happen in the Nintendo Switch event. They're going to tell us all that good jazz and what is going to be the launch lineup for that game. So if Breath of the Wild is not among that, then we know. But if it is, then the game is going to launch at a certain time during the whenever Nintendo Switch decides to release. But man, Europe's fate is really up in the air, and I want to go ahead and believe this article to a point because Eurogamer did call a lot of things right with the Switch and Nintendo and Zelda, but once again, they're saying from their sources, so take it with a grain of salt if you will. So I want to know what you guys think about this news. I know I have a lot of people that watch me from Europe. I want to know what you guys feel, and of course I want to know what everyone else feels in other regions that watch my channel. So for all those other updates for Breath of the Wild, Nintendo Switch, and more, keep it here at HMK. Like, share, and most importantly, subscribe for more. Until the next one, I've been HMK, and I'll check you guys later.